for 2 to make it 18-7 Huskies. In the second half, Vaught went back to the air and found Scott Mineta for the score, making it 25-7. For Mineta, this game will always be special because it marks the first time he scored a varsity touchdown.
Well, I've been waiting for a long time. We finally got one. We came out and earned a little respect tonight. We were picked to lose, and that really pumped us up. Defense picked it up. Todd Eglin did a nice job picking off a few passes. Jerry Burgos caught a few on O. We ran it up a little bit. The defense held in there. We put in our second team, and they did a nice job. In this one, Mineta wasn't Vaught's only target. He also found Mark Patmore, who later pulled in this long touchdown pass to make it 32-7. Northeast tried to take Vaught out of the game on the extra point, but Vaught walked off the injury and stayed in the game to lead the Huskies to one more touchdown. Northeast turned on a late comeback, but it didn't come close as Harborcreek won it 39-21. Yeah, we've been practicing hard all week, and I think we were just ready for them. They played a tough game, but I think we were just a little bit more pumped up.
His guards, one of his linemen. You're a guard or you tackle? Yeah. He is a guard, and it is Mike Gearlack who joins us as well. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us. And right off the bat, Chad, let's talk about that Northeast game. Your thoughts overall?
Right now, we're 2-0, and that's where we want to be. We got a good game coming up with Fairview. Fairview's a decent team. I'm real happy that we're 2-0, and hopefully we can beat Fairview.
Mike, what about for you, working for a guy like Chad Vaught, who already has 8 touchdown passes, has run for 2? Do you feel pressure knowing that he's going to be going back to pass quite a bit in every game?
No, because I have faith in Chad, and I know that he's going to come out with the pass and everything else, and he'll come out with it.
Chad, how do you approach this? You're a quarterback that can run, and you're a quarterback that can throw. When you're going back into the pocket, obviously you're thinking pass right away, but how much time are you giving your pocket to hold up before you're starting to look to run? Some quarterbacks are criticized because they won't stay in the pocket long enough. Or do you have a problem with that, wanting to take off a little bit too soon because you are so talented a runner?
Right now, we look deep first. Trying to get, try to be greedy, and try to go deep. And if that's not open, then I take off and off to the races.
All right. In case you missed it the past couple weeks, Ron, if we could roll some of that videotape, we have some of Chad's highlights from weeks 1 and 2. Week 1, he went up against General McLean, and one thing I noticed in this game was that you really have the ability to check off of your primary receivers. You've come a long way, and a lot of high school players can't do that. What's been the key? Has it been Air Budashevsky, or how are things working out?
Coach B's given me a lot of freedom, this year, and as a sophomore and junior, I wasn't real comfortable with the offense, but now as a senior, I've become a lot more comfortable with the offense, and the offensive line's doing a great job for me, and they give me the time to throw, and when you got an offensive line like I do, it makes things a lot easier.
Why don't you compare the two teams from last year and from this year? You guys ran right through everybody last year, going 10-0, but you had a back there, nice dance there. What are those guys doing?
That's Patmore with the dance. They took a lot of time out of practice for that one.
Yeah. Donnie Bernatowicz, you really had the running game focused last year with Donnie, and has the focus changed a little bit this year?
Well, last year, we had some big offensive linemen, and we did have a real talented tailback, but we can't take anything away from this year's team. Everybody worked real hard in the off season, looking to improve on what we did last year. Last year was just a stepping stone. This year we're trying to finish it off a little bit.
Mike, what about the fact that you're going to try and repeat ECL champs? Added pressure, or do you guys really have the belief that you can do it?
Everybody has to have the belief to do it, just to be in it.
If we could, here, I want to just watch the video. Okay, Todd, this is a touchdown pass to Patmore, one of many, but that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about this extra point. Did you feel you were hit deliberately by Northeast when you certainly went down hard, and I believe all you suffered was a Charlie horse. Fortunately, here it is. What happened on this play?
Well, when I was young, they told me if you don't have anything good to say about something, don't say anything at all, so I prefer not to say anything at all.
That said it all for us, Chad. You don't have to say anymore, but we didn't like to see that, but Chad got up and did continue to play, and you guys had a whale of a game, big game coming up this week. Again, what do we look for in this one, and how do you prevent a letdown?
Fairview's a good team, so we definitely can't overlook them, looking towards Iroquois and everything. The league's real balanced this year, so we just have to we have to practice real hard and try to avoid a letdown. And Fairview's a good team, so we got our work cut out for us.
Mike, if you could, one thing that amazed me out there was the fan support, not just for Harborcreek, but for Northeast. And boy, there were thousands at that game. Do you guys notice the fans?
Yeah, in the very beginning of the game, you just look around the crowd and you notice them all, and it just kind of gives you a pump-up attitude towards the whole game.
Gentlemen, lots of luck the rest of the way. Chad, I know you're about a 63% completion ratio right now and 8 touchdown passes. You're doing great. Lots of luck the rest of the way. We've got a lot of tough opponents ahead, and we'll keep you updated on them every week on Sunday Sports Extra, and we've got more to go, so stay with us. We'll be back after this.
After 3 weeks of the Erie County League season, 3 teams remain among the elite. They're the unbeaten. First on the list, it's the Harborcreek Huskies, who are trying to defend their ECL crown. By now, it's no secret that their secret is the play of quarterback Chad Vaught. On Friday night, Vaught did it again. In just over 3 quarters of play, he threw for 3 touchdowns, bringing his season total to 11. He also ran for his 3rd touchdown of the season when he turned a broken play into a 55-yard touchdown run, giving the Huskies a 35-11 win over the Fairview Tigers.
I don't know that we've been rolling over them. The competition has been very stiff, and I say that seriously. I mean, other teams are playing hard. Again, we're hitting some big plays and such, but right now we're starting to pick up a variety of facets of our offense, and if we can keep continuing to improve, then we'll develop into a good team.
My night is Harborcreek's night. You know, I don't like to talk about myself. If everybody else wants to talk about it, that's fine. But right now, my offensive line doing a great job. Jody Sutton and Jay Sarvis ran the ball real well tonight. Scott Meta did a great job catching the ball tonight, and our defense did a good job because Fairview's got a good offense.
Braves and Dan Budashevsky of the Harborcreek Huskies. These 2 teams will meet on Saturday afternoon in Braves country. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us. What do we look for in this one? Let's start with Coach Glass. What do you anticipate?
I anticipate a tough ball game. Harborcreek's got a lot of weapons, and we know obviously about the big one in Chad Vaught, but Sutton and Sarvis in the backfield do a nice job, and they've got some kids that catch the ball, and their linemen are tough. Offensive line protects them, gives them time.
Coach, you sat on this show a couple weeks ago and said the team to beat is the guy from Iroquois, and now you got a chance to show what you guys have. Are you confident going into the game?
I think every coach has got to be confident going into any football game, and especially a big game when you've had your kids playing pretty well. But far cry from being overconfident. We're going to have our hands full.
Does the home field advantage mean anything at all in this one, especially since you're playing on a Saturday afternoon, which your kids, Coach, might not be used to doing?
Well, I think the biggest part of their home field advantage is their team.
That helps.
Yeah, they have. They're very good, and they have an awful lot of things they do well. Everything from special teams, and their defense is unscored upon, and their offense is rolling up the points. So that's the biggest advantage they have on their home field is their team.
Do we have to, I don't think we read into this, but when you look at it, we don't just have 2 unbeatens in the county going against each other. We're talking Iroquois, Harborcreek. There's no love lost in women's softball. There's no love lost in other sports, and we know there's not going to be any in football, and there hasn't been in the past. Is it an extra incentive game because it's Harborcreek and not just for the standings, Coach?
Well, I think we could both be 0-3, and these kids are going to play a heck of a football game. Since we're both undefeated, I think that just makes it all that more of a game. But these kids, I think Paul Faust summarized it a few years ago. He said that when we play one another, it doesn't matter what the sport is, it's going to be a hard-fought game. But afterwards, these kids are down at McDonald's drinking milkshakes together. And I think, when we're done playing, we're going to be pulling for the Huskies, and hopefully they'll be pulling for us.
Coach, is it tough going in? They've got such the one guy that shines for this team. I think everyone would agree that Chad's probably the premier player in the county this football season. You really got to go in key on this guy. He can beat you so many ways.
Well, there's no question about that. But he has quite a complimentary group with him, too. And, yeah, we're going to work on trying to shut him down, but we can't forget the other weapons they have, too.
Coach Budashevsky, when you look at this Iroquois team and the games I've been to, their special teams seem to really break the games open. And punt return in particular, we got 2, and then really should have had 3 or 4 punt returns for touchdowns at this point. Do you concentrate on special teams this week, or maybe look a little more intensely at it because of the situation with the Braves?
I think all coaches really work hard on specialties these days. And this week, we're going to probably do what we normally would do, but we will obviously have to really stress coverage on kicks of all sorts because they have game breakers.
While we have you gentlemen with us, before we talk anymore with you, we have our top 10 premiere. And we're going to do it with the Husky coach and the Braves coach with us. Duff, why don't you take it from here?
Yeah, I know you coaches always say this stuff doesn't matter and we don't pay any attention to it, but we'll find out right now.
When we go to cover the Harborcreek Iroquois game, we'll hear about it, believe me.
Checking in at number 1, a shaky hold now after a tough Saturday afternoon against State College, Prep in the number 1 spot. Vincent and Meadville check in at 2 and 3. Now these two could be interchangeable. We really like Strong Vincent's running game, Mike.
Running game, not just the two that we talk about, but they've got some backup running backs.
Quentin Orlando.
They are just so strong the whole way down the line and can really do some things. But again, Prep there because of what happened with Moeller in their time in the past. But you don't know. It could be interchangeable before it's all over.
Checking in at number 4, the Harborcreek Huskies. Coach Dan Budashevsky. Vaught, of course, as we mentioned, he's the quarterback there, the class of the area. The Huskies can beat you on the ground, and they can beat you in the air. At number 5, Hickory. They crushed Grove City over the weekend, 24-0. We move to our second 5 in our top 10. At number 6, Maplewood. Maybe a bit of a surprise here now. They beat Lakeview this weekend, 41-34 to take the top spot in the FCVC. A bit of a shocker in that one. Number 7, Sharon. They have a loss to Hickory, but they won over the weekend, 48-0 over an unbeaten team, West Middlesex. Number 8, Iroquois. Steady, not spectacular. We will find out a lot about this team come Saturday afternoon, so it will be a showdown between number 4 and number 8. Some people can be moving around in the top 10.
Right, and I'm sure
Reynolds at number 9. Mike, hold on one second. Northwestern, another ECL team at number 10. The surprise of the season so far, and maybe in the Erie County League at number 10. So we got 4 against number 8.
We've got 4 against 8, and it's going to be interesting because now they'll really be concerned and hyping it up in the locker room all week to see who's going to advance on the Sunday Sports Extra.
They all care so much.
10. They don't care about the state ratings, but Sunday Sports Extra hits home. Any comments on the ratings?
You guys have a good time with it.
We'll have a good time with it. All right, gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Lots of luck this week, and we will see you on Saturday afternoon at Iroquois High School. Don't go away. We're back with more after this.